3, 2, 1. Apple.
Oh, God. Wow.
Oh, my God, that's cold. Welcome back to You Betcha Radio Podcast, the coldest podcast in all the Midwest. I'm Miles, the You Betcha guy, here with Ryan, the T-shirt guy. We're enjoying ourselves a little bit of Busch Light Apple. They just dropped this brand new brew. We're going to talk about that today, as well as some top 3 worst things about golf. So let's just get into the show.
I would venture to say it's almost the nectar of the gods. Back, baby, back. I want my Busch.
Oh my God, that's cold.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Hello. Welcome back to episode 75 of the You Betcha Radio Podcast. I am Ryan, the T-shirt guy. And today, as you can tell, we have some different colored brews in front of us today, Miles. We're getting our fruits in for the day. The Busch Light Apple. The video has released. We have had the opportunity to get our hands on.
The review is in.
The review is in. We've gotten our hands on some cans. So you called the corn cans. You called them corn in the can. Is there any special name for the Busch
Nectar
apple?
of the Cobs as well.
Nectar of the Cobs. Yep.
I don't know yet. I'm still working on it.
We'll figure that out. But before we get into the show, guys, remember all the merchandise is still open. The boys are buzzing all the time. Boys are Buzzing gear is also on the website. Brand new design. You also get a free beer fridge magnet with the purchase of each Boys are Buzzing item. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Busch Apple. We're going to talk about the 3 worst things about golf. As much as we all love golf, there are always 3 things that we can take out of it as the worst. And lastly, Miles and I got roasted last week on the Nectar Cup Series stream. And I feel like you guys, if you haven't tuned into that yet, deserve to know why we got roasted. So Miles, we're getting our fruits in this morning. Are you an apple guy?
So what you mean, like traditionally?
Yeah.
Like eating an apple?
Yeah.
I like eating apples once in a while with a little bit of peanut butter.
Yep.
But I will have to say, traditionally, I am not an apple drink guy.
Okay.
I think that the Red's apple ales, the Angry Orchards, they're all just too sweet, too sugary, too much for me. This, I think, so we put out a review on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, the whole thing. And I think that it summed up how I felt pretty well. I was very nervous because I think, as most of us would say, we didn't know how it was actually going to go.
Yeah.
It was almost like a collective, man, I just really hope this isn't terrible. I mean, that was like the bar that got set collectively on the internet of just like, man, I hope this doesn't taste bad.
I think the fun thing for viewers, and I guess maybe they don't know this for truth, but it was your genuine, honest first time ever having it.
I had never had it before. I think that my honest reaction came through.
Yeah. And
I think you could tell.
Yeah, there obviously are going to be some haters in the comments saying it wasn't genuine, but for the most part, people understood. But yeah, that was the first time I've ever seen you in one of those beer style videos actually have something for the first time.
Yeah, that's true. I think that, it was an honest review. It was also fun to play up, the whole tech unboxing thing was kind of stupid, but all in all, if you haven't seen the video, the review is in. I did like the Busch Light Apple as we are drinking it here today. As I drink it more and more, the more I start to realize its flavor is a little bit more like a green apple more than a red apple, which I think is interesting. Do you know what I mean by that?
I get it now. I never really thought.
Take a taste.
Okay.
Green apple.
100%.
Tastes like one of those green apple suckers.
Yep.
With the caramel on them. What we should do on the next podcast is we should get a bag of caramels. Write this down, Tyler. And we'll have a few caramels as we have our Busch Light Apple, and we'll do a little beer pairing and see how it goes.
Yeah. One thing that I feel like could have been a slight miss is if you've seen the TikTok trend with those little bottles of apple juice, where if you like bite the side of them, it sounds like you're biting into an apple. How cool would that have been?
Well, we can still do that on TikTok.
How cool would that have been if they would have done it with the actual Busch apple cans?
They would have had to been plastic, right?
Yeah, true.
I don't want my beer out of plastic.
Wishful thinking, Tyler. Wishful thinking on my part.
Through the magic of video editing, Ryan, in the next segment, if you pretend to take a bite, I'll just dump one in
That's what
there.
I was thinking. Just pretend.
Yep.
Yeah. So
There you have it.
fun to do. No one could see what you did. It was fun to do a review again. That one is probably one of the closest sheer honest reviews of never tasting it before. I don't know if I've ever done that. That's why I was so nervous, but big old sigh of relief. Busch Light Apple is good. You can have more than one or two. You can definitely put down more than that, but as always, it's still not going to replace the old classic Busch Latte, Nectar of the Gods, and I think we all know that.
Yeah.
But it's a nice supplement, nice little switch up once in a while. Keep you on your toes, and make sure you just really appreciate what you got in front of you. So, so the corporate, Busch brand team, they put together a pretend, like basically parody Apple presentation that was like basically making fun of like the Steve Jobs, Tim Cook,
Yep.
Yeah,
on
it was
stage presentation. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was like the exact same thing as the new iPhone launch that they always do.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and the way that Jerry, the Busch, air quotes Busch guy, the way that he presented, I thought was pretty funny with the old suit coat, plaid turtleneck. He was wearing New Balance, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I had to zoom in a little bit. They were just, I don't know where they got the all white, and maybe they just made them all white, but he had the New Balance shoes on and everything. So, kudos to the Busch brand team for coming up with a great concept, pretty funny, and kudos to Jerry for crushing it. I think. What do you see it?
I haven't seen the full video yet. No. I didn't know that he was wearing New Balances. I thought you said kudos to the brand team for a great concept. I thought that concept was wearing New Balances during the video. I thought that's where you're going with that.
No, that's the Apple, making fun of Apple.
Yeah. But pulling a little page out of the old dad character
And
book.
what I love about Busch, the Busch just brand in general, is when everyone bobs, they weave.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is everyone's putting out a seltzer. Busch looks at their brand and says, seltzer's not our brand. We're going to put out a Busch Light Apple instead. And I think it was a great, refreshing change up to what every brand's doing the seltzer thing.
Well, yeah. And if you think within like the last year, I can't really think of a time when there wasn't a limited edition can available. 6 months to a year back, you had the Busch Latte cans, you had the hunting cans, you had the corn cans, you had the sunlight activated cans. Now you got the Busch apple cans.
Yeah, I think that probably in the wintertime there was a stretch.
Sure. Yep.
And that was about it. Yeah, we'll have to see if they bring back the Busch Latte cans again.
Yep.
And see if they look any different, that whole thing. So I'm excited about that. If you haven't, Tyler, you should pull up our post and on Instagram on your phone and read off the states that it is going to be available in for the listeners. So Busch Light Apple was released on Monday the 13th. Today's the 15th. Whether or not it comes to your area will depend on what Tyler says and your distributors. I know that different distributors are releasing them on different days. Some already have them out. Some are coming in the next week. So just look at your local distributors like Facebook page. I'm sure that they'll let everyone know when it's in circulation. Tyler, do you pull it up?
Yes, it is North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, Oklahoma, Arizona, Texas, Utah, and Florida.
Wow.
There you go. That's usually they don't roll it out to that many states.
Yeah.
Especially on a first time basis. And so I'm really glad that they went a little bit broader of a spectrum here. And thank God Wisconsin got it, because Wisconsin got the shaft like 2 times in a row.
Yep.
So Wisconsin, you guys complained enough that it seems that you are now going to get all the cans, all of the different variations. So good job. But you know, I am so glad that I love Busch beer, because they keep it fresh. They keep us being able to talk about something. We've been doing this for 2 years and we're still got news and fresh content coming out about our beer. And so I'm so happy about that. We're excited. I'm really excited and almost excited as much about the next segment, the top 3 worst things about golf. I think that we almost should do a top 5, it feels like, because there's so many things that we all hate about golf. But every time there's just something that keeps bringing us back. So we're going to take our first break here, and then we're going to get into the 3 worst things about golf. All right, guys, we are now going to talk about the top 3 worst things about playing golf. We all love playing golf. We all hate playing golf. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. That's what golf's known for. One hole you love it, next hole you hate it. One shot you love it, next shot you hate it. It can switch that fast. We now have started kind of our own little brand of breakfast ball.
Yep.
Which is kind of a stem of that, right? You know, you're on the first tee. You hate it because you just duffed the ball didn't even get off the tee box. And then but you get the breakfast ball, you get the second chance to pipe one down the middle. And I think that's what golf's all about, is just that love-hate back and forth. Just when you think that you got the game down, you don't. And so I think that's a good lead in to the top 3 worst things about golf. Ryan, I want you to start off. It's going to be interesting because I could have wrote down 100 things. I'm sure I'm going to think of more as we do this. I have a few honorable mentions, but I got my top 3. Ryan, what is your number 3 worst thing about golf?
All right, Miles, this is more on a personal level for me. My 3rd least favorite thing about golf is the classic 3-putt.
I thought about that one. I figured it was going to be pretty common. I agree.
It is, for me. I can lay up in 2 or 3 shots. I have a good hole ahead of me, and then double bogey. You're rolling with a 3-putt, and it's like at that point, if you're on a 450 yard par 4, and you can hit the green in 2 shots, 3 shots, whatever that may be, and then within 15 feet of the hole, you need 3 shots just to make in the cup.
Yep. Yeah, you're on it. Let's say you're on the green in 2 shots. Over double the amount of shots just to get it in the hole, and you've over doubled your score.
That's the most demoralizing part of golf to me.
Demoralizing, frustrating, makes you never want to putt again. And it's like when you go to the driving range, you go buy your bucket of balls, and then it's a little bit extra work to grab your own balls out of your bag, hit the putting greens, practice it up a little bit. And every green's different, right? So you could be at a driving range with not much slope here or there.
I also think though, Ryan, that some people get it and some people don't on the green. Some people can just look at a green, view the angle it's going to be, feel the slope that it's going to be.
Yep.
Depth perception's all good. And I think there's some people who just don't have that gene.
I do not have it.
Obviously practicing helps a lot. But at the end of the day, I think that there is some people who get it and some people who don't on the green.
Yeah, I'm the latter.
You are out.
Miles, what's your 3rd least favorite thing about golf?
My 3rd least favorite thing, I just wrote it down. I already forgot, which was number 3. Oh, so this one, I like this one. So golf is all about etiquette, right? My number 3 worst things I hate is the guy who's too much about etiquette and the guy who has zero etiquette whatsoever.
Both extremes.
I love to sit right in the middle on the etiquette thing. I don't walk in people's lines. I make sure I got a collared shirt on. All that type of etiquette stuff. But it's when it comes to the guy who's insane about it.
So what rules are too far for you?
It's mostly just like, once in a while, like courses, especially when they're not a professional course, they'll have like really crappy dry spots or like a dirt patch that if a course was kept up, it just wouldn't be there.
Yep.
And you hit it there once in a while. And sometimes your buddy's just like, just scoot it to the side and actually hit it out of the grass because that sucks. That shouldn't be there. So the guy, it's your classic play it as it lies type of guy.
Yep.
Even though you're just having a friendly game of golf, I think you should be able to, if you hit it under a tree, I think you should play it as it lies. But if it's just out in the rough and there's like this dirt patch there,
Yep.
I feel like you should be able to move that into the grass because that's not supposed to be there.
Well, that's why they created the foot wedge, as we like to call it. You just hit a quick foot wedge out of there, and then hit it where it lies. All right.
But the guy is a complete stickler about that.
Well, if you don't hit it there, then so you got to add one. You got to add one stroke. You got to add one stroke if you bring it out.
And then
Shut the fuck up.
And I think the no etiquette guy is a nightmare too. I mean, shows up in flip flops, doesn't wear a collared shirt, basically
Talks through your whole backswing.
just talks up the whole time, doesn't count his strokes right. The best is when they just drive up right next to the green, or if they're carrying their bag, they just set their bag on the green.
Yep.
There's just little things like that about golf that it's just, we don't need to be psychos about the etiquette, and we need some etiquette. So let's meet in the middle. Let's all have a little bit of etiquette.
Now, are you a little bit more patient for maybe that person who it could be their first, second, third time out golfing and they just don't understand golf
100%. But you gotta definitely tell them right away about the etiquette. Otherwise, you can't tell them the fourth time you go out golfing with them, hey, stop walking in my line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that to Ryan last time.
Yeah. So as long as right away it's like, hey, just so you know, in golf, you don't walk in people's lines because that's just an etiquette thing.
Yeah.
Bada boom, bada bang.
Well, and that's why I always 3-putt, because there's people walking in my lines. They're just not following the rules.
Well,
So moral of the story, just have medium etiquette. Don't have
Medium etiquette. I like that.
Yeah, medium etiquette is fine by me. Tyler, what's your number 3?
the absolutely insane tan lines you get playing golf.
Ooh, you are a victim.
So this may be a hot take. I lately have been going without a glove. Bare hands, no golf glove. It's been hot out, gets too hot in the glove.
Yep.
I don't feel like it has improved my golf game. And so I've just been leaving it in the bag. And honestly, I don't miss it.
But it hasn't made it worse either.
No,
correct?
and I haven't been getting blisters.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get blisters from gripping the club too tight?
Sometimes.
I think so. I just started using a glove and I love it. Except my hand is white.
That's
and
what
my arm
that's
is
where I was
tan.
going with the golf. Yeah, you got your hand's white and your arm is, getting real tan.
Yeah, and I got a nasty V on my chest from the collared shirts.
Yes, I did see that yesterday, Tyler.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you got to balance it out. You go to the lake, you golf in the morning, then when you get back to the lake, you pop the top off and just burn your entire body instead of just your neck.
Or if you're the no etiquette guy, you just golf with your shirt off so you don't get the tan line.
Yep, no etiquette. Okay.
Or a bro tank.
Yeah.
Before we move on from the etiquette thing, how do you guys feel about people who golf with no shoes on?
I've never seen it.
My buddy does that.
So Pat McAfee is actually notorious for that. You know who Pat McAfee is? Yeah. He will go and do like celebrity golf tournaments and not wear any shoes. I actually don't hate it.
I don't care enough for it to bug me.
I would much rather have a guy not wear anything than like wear flip-flops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like until you hit one in the pines, then you're walking on needles and all that kind of stuff.
And maybe he's got some
that's
shoes
his
in his
choice.
bag,
Yeah.
or something. But I mean, I get it. I mean, it's all grass. if you think about it, on the short grass, when you're barefoot, you got grip.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's no real need for golf shoes.
The thing that doesn't make sense to me, the no shoes, is if you're hitting out of the rough, you don't have grip because the grass is too long. If you're hitting on the tee box, you're going to have a lot of grip. If you're on the fairway, a medium amount. But if you're in the rough, you got to be slipping around, especially if it's morning and the grass is a little wet.
The morning dew could be a problem, but yeah, Tyler, I'm so sorry about your tan lines.
Yeah, I mean, it's number 3, so I don't hate it, but I definitely don't love it.
Yeah, I would agree. I have been trying to get like a slow fade from my, farmer's tan into my shoulder tan at the lake here, but really been working hard. But Ryan, what's your number 2?
Miles, my number 2 is when you go to a course, let's just say it's you and a buddy going out, or, you and 2 other buddies going out, group of 2, group of 3, and the course pairs you up with 1 or 2 other people that you have no idea who they are.
Oh, that sucks. That actually really sucks. Unless you get the one time when they're actually like pretty cool to golf with.
Right. And I had a very bad experience. Me and a buddy got paired up with probably one of the least amount of etiquette, had no clue what they were doing, talked about just nonsense the whole round. And it was so scarring to the point where it's tough for me to go back to that course.
That sucks.
So
my question is I understand that they want to keep the game moving.
Yep.
Does it truly make it that much faster to have all 4 on one hole at the same time? It's got to be, right? Otherwise, why would they do that?
Yep. And I think that's was it a nicer course, Ryan?
I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Yeah, it's a nice clubhouse and it's a nice, nice fairways and stuff like that. But overall, from where we're from, this is not a high-end course by any means.
I'll rephrase it. Is it a busier course?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's just one of those things, Ryan. You just got to have more friends.
Sometimes I'd rather golf with strangers than you guys, though.
Oh God.
No.
Yeah.
The etiquette thing with like, what's funny is like, we'll bust each other's balls all day, not say a single nice thing to each other, and then we'll get on the course, and I'll be like, "Oh, nice shot, Tyler.
Yeah.
Yep.
You stroked that one. Good job."
Yep.
And it's like, why when we step on the golf course does like, there's some
It's a
busting each
mood
other's
change.
balls,
Yep.
but it's like, now all of a sudden we're just complimenting each other.
You even defended Ryan on the course when we were playing. Ryan shanked one, and I was like, well, you might have needed to club up on that one. And Miles looks at me and does the fingers over the neck. He's like, shut up.
Well, Ryan was really mad, and I said, that was your classic no etiquette guy. This is actually great feeding in. This is a perfect feed in to my next number 2. Are you guys ready?
Let's hear it.
So that is a perfect example. Ryan, you lost the first 2 holes, right?
Yep.
Lost the first 2 holes. Going into number 3, pretty irritated. First thing he does, chunks it off of the tee.
Par 3, duffed it.
Visibly mad. And when that happens, you go silent. You don't say a single effing thing to this guy.
Yep.
You let him soak. You let him figure it out in his own head. And Tyler has to say, I think you should have clubbed up there.
It had nothing to do with clubbing up.
Well,
it had all to do with my ball.
Yeah, you
contact.
hit it wrong.
And that
Right.
was his joke. But you just don't do that to a fellow golfer. And that leads in. It's kind of like that. Mine's a little more specific. And it mostly happens when I'm playing with my brother, because your brother just gets under your skin more.
Yeah.
But me and him always try and compete. Does this thing where when I obviously have the worst hole of the round so far, you hit it in the water, it's a par 4, and you end up with like an 8, right? And clearly you are mad. You're pissed off about it. You don't want to talk about it. Kind of like Ryan doesn't want to talk about the fact now he's chunked it.
Yep.
And my brother or whoever gets like a par, right? Par, even just still, bogey beats you by 3 strokes. As you're walking off the screen, walking off the thing, he's all like happy, he's looking at you, and then he just goes, So what did you get? That makes my blood boil so much. Makes me so mad. Ask me in 2 holes what I got
was just
on
gonna
that.
say that. Wait a hole or two.
Wait a hole or two to ask me what I got on the worst hole of the round. I don't want to do it right off the green.
Is it just the way he says it, or what if he's genuinely trying to keep score? He's like, "Hey, Miles, what'd you get there?" Do you just not want to talk about it?
Genuine's better, but I know he's not because he knows he got 3 strokes back on me, and he just wants to just, hey, I'm happy I beat it. What'd you get? Oh, you got an 8? Oh, I got a 4.
Yep.
So it just
That is very irritating, Miles. I will agree with that.
so yeah, I feel your pain on that with Tyler, Ryan.
Well, the only reason I said it is because you were debating out loud for about a minute and a half before you actually swung which club you should use.
No, not at all.
You were.
That's a sand wedge hole, 100% every single time I've golfed that course.
But you were just sitting there thinking about it, and you were like talking about it out loud, and I was like, well, maybe you should have clubbed up, Ryan, because you were talking about it beforehand.
Someone else must have been talking, Tyler, because I know
don't
exactly
know.
what
Might have
it's
been
just
me. Hey, let's leave it on the course, fellas.
Yep.
Jeez. Tyler, what's your number 2?
This is a super basic one, front facing. Just the sand. But the reason I hate the sand is because it's an absolute mind melder. Because you can't down your club, and that just gets in my head. I need to have 3 or 4 practice strokes before I hit it out of something, and I can't do that in the sand, and it screws me up
What
so
I think
much.
will help, because you are a very fresh golfer, you haven't golfed much in your life. I think just reps in that will eliminate that. I
Yeah.
think that over time, that just won't be a mental thing for anymore. That's just what you do on that shot.
But to me, it's kind of like the whole baseball superstition. I take 2 or 3 swings before I hit the ball every single time. I square my feet up. I make sure I'm lined up right. And when you're in the sand, everything's out of whack. Your feet are shifting. You can't down your club. You have no idea how hard the sand is besides your feet. Like I played at a course this last weekend where it was basically dirt and not sand.
yeah.
So like I had hit the ball at whatever the inch or 2 in front of it, and it just stuck in the mud. So I don't know. I hate the sand so much because it just screws with my head.
Just start hitting every shot without downing your club, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Don't
No.
practice swing and don't down your club.
Yep.
If you're spending that much time in the sand, just switch all your shots to that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Sand first.
I think that in the sand, if you don't get out on that first shot, that is when the mental wheels come off for me. Because then it's like now you're overthinking it. Now all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, this is about to be a slippery slope. Because everyone's got that PTSD with the sand about taking 4 or 5 shots to get out of the sand.
And by the time you're done, you got to dump out your shoes.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've all been there. And so once you don't get out on that first one, that just comes rushing back.
Yep.
And it hits you right in the face. So I'm with you. Sand sucks. But I usually get out. So not worried about that.
Tyler is a sand magnet. I will just say that.
Oh,
to
God.
end this.
Why did you buy those sand seeking balls?
Yeah, well, I've been.
Magnet.
Can you return them?
I'll see if I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. Number 1, hit it.
All right, Miles. Hot take here. My least favorite thing about golf is walking.
Oh, I'm with that, man.
Yes, I am a cart guy through and through. It probably doesn't help. I have a very heavy bag, but at the same time, But at the same time,
I am so happy we can agree on this one, Ryan. We finally got one we can agree on.
if you say, "Hey, let's just go walk a nice 9 holes tomorrow morning" or whatever that may be, I'm like, "Okay, so you want to split the cart then?"
Well, it's like I wish that golf etiquette didn't require you to not go by the greens, because I would roll up on my cart all the way up to my ball if I could.
Yeah. What I really want to try one day is one of them like motorcycle deals.
I know what you're talking about. It's kind of like a Segway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
you
would be
ride it
sweet.
like a longboard.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm a cart guy. I will walk every once in a while if I can get my hands on a push cart.
Are you a cart snob? I'm a little bit of a cart snob. I'll get into a cart, works great, but it's a gas one. or it doesn't have any extra features other than your standard cup holders, ball holders, and tee holders.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have any extra features, kind of a snob about it. A little bit disappointed.
I would agree.
Because I'll go golfing in the Coachella Valley on vacation, which is littered with really nice golf courses.
Yeah.
And they have GPS and Bluetooth speakers, and it's all electric, and those things are smooth and quiet. And they even have phone chargers in there and all that stuff.
Gosh.
So once you go fancy with a golf cart, it's tough to go back.
So one question
So
that's
my one thing that I think I'm a big snob about in golf is like really tough to not get a nice golf cart.
Yeah. So my question is in the golf cart, being a golf cart snob, they have the small cup holder and they have the big cup holder.
Yep.
When has any drink you ever bought fit into the big cup holder?
My guess is like a Gatorade 32 ouncer would fit in there.
I think it's like if you bring your own mug or something.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing a morning round and you got your gas station mug of coffee, that's when the big
All
guy
the mugs
counts.
are different sizes though.
Yeah, but
Nothing ever fits
I
in
think
there.
it fits a 32 ounce Gatorade in there.
They need to start having disclaimers on their cart. Only fits 32 ounce Gatorade.
Well, this just in. He's not just a golf cart snob. Ryan, the t-shirt guy, is a cup holder snob.
I am. Yep. Because when you're hitting bumps, you're going. I play out of the rough quite a bit, so you're going in the rough. You're hitting bumps, and when your beer is just
That would
all
actually
over the
be
place,
elite.
spilling.
Is having a cup holder with a gimbal.
Yeah,
So
like
basically,
a
like
gyro thing in there.
Basically, so it goes with all of the bumps and
Yes.
stays in the same spot. Because once if you got a beer open sitting in the thing and you go over a bunch of bumps, it's gonna make the beer go more flat faster because all the bubbles are just bumping all over the place and then it's gone.
Well, especially if you get yourself a cocktail on the golf course.
Yep.
You get yourself like a whiskey diet or something, open top.
whiskey
You're
D.
screwed.
Yep.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
So someone out there, if you make golf,
Before you get in that, some would argue that you just need to do the old hand gimbal
Yeah.
while you're driving.
gimbal.
That's usually what I do, but
someone needs to make like a slip insert for the big cup holder to where you can you throw it in your bag, collapses down maybe, and then you can fit your beer perfectly in there.
Should start.
should we start a business?
A business.
We should start a business.
Well-
We need to start upping the golf cart experience.
Yes. Because
That's what breakfast ball will be all about.
it's a great experience if you have a nice cart.
All right. We got to keep her moving here. Number one for
number
me
one.
was a lot like, again, feeding into what you said about Tyler talking shit about your chunk. Chunking off the tee sucks.
It's the worst.
You debate, yeah, like you were like, where's the wind at? Do I need a club up, club down? Feeling good about this. Someone else hit. I think I got it. All right, it's my right stance. Feeling good. Bring it back. Oh yeah, this is going. Chunk. Duff it. Barely gets off the tee box.
Oh God.
If you're lucky, it'll make it past all the tee boxes. It's just all this mental preparation, even when you feel good, and then you just chunk it, and now you're starting one stroke back, basically.
Okay, so that was my question. You're starting one stroke back, but does the option of a breakfast ball, regardless of the hole, always come through your mind after you chunk a tee shot?
Only on the first hole.
Okay.
Only on the first hole for me. I do golf with a group of people that are like, you just get one breakfast ball off of the tee, no matter what hole it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
We play
So-
like one mulligan per 9, and you can use it on any stroke.
Yeah, so we're just off the tee. So like you could be on hole number 17th. You still got that one shot. If you duff it, you got that one breakfast ball.
I like that.
Not everyone plays that way. Sometimes it's just off the first tee, which I actually kind of prefer just off the first tee. I think that's cooler. I think it's better. I actually use the breakfast ball off the first tee more often than I should not.
100%.
I don't understand why is that a thing? I don't get it.
Well, because you take no swings. You don't hit the range.
Yeah.
You've taken no swings in the last 6 days. And then you get up and you're just expected to pipe one down the fairway, 250, 270 yards.
Yep.
And it's like,
Yeah, I just hate chunking off the tee because like everyone's watching, and this is one of the shots that everyone's standing right there watching, and then you chunk it.
Yeah.
And you just feel less of a man.
yep.
You just feel like even if you just got a birdie on the last hole, and then you chunk it.
It's like it didn't happen.
It's like it did not happen. It erases everything else you did. It sucks.
We could talk about this stuff all day.
I don't know. Tyler, what's your number one?
So this has happened to me 2 times this summer. But when you have a group behind you that's way too impatient and you have a group in front of you slowing you down.
Yep.
So they know that there's a group in front of you, the group behind you does, because you'll sit at the tee box together and wait to tee off. And then they tee off when you're in the middle of the fairway. I had one stop 3 feet behind me when I was sitting there waiting for my buddy to hit.
You flip him the bird?
No, I wanted to take my irons and hit it back at him.
Yeah.
I was so pissed off.
Well, I mean, he knows his yardages. He probably had you on the rangefinder. It's like, that's 282 and I can hit this 277. So let's just let it rip.
Yeah, well,
He knew his yardages, Tyler.
just take a freaking chill pill, buddy. Get yourself a drink and sit in your subpar cart and wait for me to hit the ball one more time.
You probably weren't at a super expensive course where I can see like these guys are, they pay a lot of money to play there 3 times a week.
Tyler's going to end up in jail from getting in a fight on the golf course.
I mean, I might be the guy with
Happy
zero
Gilmore
etiquette.
and Bob Barker.
Yeah.
Somebody hits a ball close to me again. 3rd time's the charm.
Well, that's etiquette on their side. Yeah. I will have to say though, I would rather be moving quickly on the course than have to sit and wait. I like getting to my next shot immediately and just keep it rolling.
Well, I'm with you, but there's a group in front of me too. So it's not like I'm not going to hit at them because I have some decency.
Yeah. Before we finish this segment, one honorable mention that I had is because I'm not obviously I'm not in the best shape of my life. Golf is a physical sport, whether it feels like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had like a hole number 13, 11, 12, 13. I hit a lull where I'm like, I get a little bit like tired from all especially if you're playing bad and you got a bunch of swings.
Yep.
You get a little tired. You're all juiced up at the beginning to go. You got some adrenaline going. And then that kind of wears off around hole 10.
Sun's beating 11, down on you.
Suns gets to you. And I honestly think when I have some of my worst holes are like in that second half of the round. Cause so that was an honorable mention for me. One other one that I had
when
was
the cart girl skips you.
That never happens. I make sure I flag her down.
Yeah, you just gotta hit a ball in her direction.
I will sprint after that.
That's why he gets so tired. That's why the fatigue sets in, because he's sprinting after the cart girl.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I had is leaving a putt like 10 feet short. I remember when I did that last Friday on the last green.
Yep.
That's what screwed me.
That's what screwed you on that hole.
I literally was so worried about blazing it by the hole because it was on the edge of the green, didn't want to go off the green, and then I left it 10 feet short.
And then you
missed the next putt because you're too far away. That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But this was I enjoyed this, guys. Guys, we have a new Instagram, Facebook account called Breakfast Balls. We're gonna be putting out new merchandise there. All for the middle of the road, medium etiquette golfer out there, Midwest people. We're going to be putting out more content, more merchandise. We got some hats. We got some golf polos, a whole thing in the works.
Yep.
And so be looking for more content there. And we're going to start a YouTube page with it.
Yep.
Where we're going to document our Friday 9-hole morning rounds and just put out content about playing golf because we love playing golf, and hopefully you guys can enjoy that. So you have to give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Yep.
And be a part of it. So
Miles, Instagram is at breakfast.balls. TikTok is at breakfastball.
We're working on the breakfast ball name. So, but breakfast.balls on Instagram. Guys, let's take our second break and we'll wrap up the podcast. Oh my God, that's cold. Guys, we have been streaming on Twitch last month and a half or so.
Yep.
And it's been fun. Honestly, it has been really fun to do a new adventure for the You Betcha crew. We've really been hitting it hard on the Nectar Cup Series once a week. Ryan and I head to head. Last week was one of our worst performances. I went from one of my best performance to my worst. And it was just a hot, sweaty mess. No, you weren't even performing that well either.
No, we started racing dirt tracks. We got away from
it. It was really a willy-nilly stream. And Ryan and I were just bickering the whole time, and we just decided that it was the conflict stream, Ryan and I against each other. And so we just decided to open up that conflict to even the people in the chat. So what we did is we asked them to, roast us a little bit in the chat. And I think that was a good move by us. A lot of making fun of Ryan, which I loved.
Yeah. It just turned into the roast of the t-shirt guy.
Wow. It's pretty funny because people just know by watching your videos online what's going to get to you the most.
Yep.
We had, Miles has a shitty lawn. We had Miles paints his lawn green, actually paints it green. We had Charlie
can back a boat in better than you.
Back a boat better, up better than you.
Ryan has pubes for a beard.
Ryan's got pubes for a beard. There was another one too about how was it you look like you drink Busch because I held you down and threatened to fart on you. Is that another one?
Yep.
So it really got away from us, but the one that stung the deepest, the cut that cut the deepest, the punch that knocked me out, I'm going with this. The one thing that just what took the cake was when they said that in our video, Dude Dad outshined me. That one just hit deep. Not because I don't think Dude Dad is not good at what he does or anything like that, but I'm always trying to just, as anyone should, trying to be the best. And when someone says you're not, really cuts deep.
That one, well, and the placement of that roast was also huge. It was very bad for your self-esteem. So we kind of like put an end to the roast, and then this submission came in probably 5 to 10 seconds after. So it kind of just icing on the cake.
We ended the roast, comment. And then that roast line came in last.
So I don't know whoever put that. Our boy Juice in the chat, I think he might have planned that out. I think he might have been saving that one. I think he knew how deep that would cut, and the placement of that was executed greatly on his behalf. But overall, that cut really deep.
The best part is watching Ryan's face because you read it about 2 seconds before Miles did, and you knew how he was going to react.
Yeah, and then that's when we stopped the roast.
Yep. And honestly, everything was good after the roast. We got some laughs out.
It honestly diffused the entire situation.
It did.
We had a great stream after that. And so that's probably our go-to from now on. If things aren't going hot, we're just going to roast and move on with it.
But I think everything would have been even better between, the conflict between you and I if that comment wouldn't have came in.
I agree. I think that was the perfect comment that needed to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
So you got to check out our stream. It's tonight. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, the 15th, if you're listening on Wednesday, the 15th, 7 p.m. Central Time, we are streaming the Nectar Cup Series. Ryan and I playing NASCAR Heat 5, the new game.
Yep.
And it's going to be fun, as always. It's just more about the camaraderie, the shenanigans that happen than it is really about what's going on the track. Even though it's about the stuff on the track, it's always fun to just bust each other's balls and hang out.
Yeah,
and like I said it many times, if you never watched Twitch, give it a shot. Just give it a chance. I think that you'll be entertained. And one thing I think that has taken off so far that I did not anticipate is I've been playing PGA.
Yeah.
So it's golf
good.
Podcast here, or the golf podcast, what we're doing right now. Buzz Daly is the character that we created. Started a new career.
Yep.
And it's electric. He's got a whole backstory. He's got a persona. He's slowly getting better and better with each tournament that he plays. And so I've been doing that on Tuesdays. You got to check that stream out as well. Ryan, Tyler have been doing Madden and UFC.
Yep.
And so it's just been real fun to just develop a whole new platform. Give it a chance. We promise that you'll be entertained. And if we're not, then you just don't have to watch us again. So give us 5-10 minutes of your time and check it out.
Well, and the cool thing too about Twitter, so to watch us, you don't need an account to come watch. You click on the link, it'll go straight there. You don't need to sign up or do anything. But Twitch for us is, and for you guys, is a great platform to interact with us because we see the chat right on the screen over here.
Yeah,
we basically interact with everything that comes through the board.
We try to, and we honestly now we have developed ongoing bits with people in the chat as well that just show up every single stream, and so. It's a good time. It's definitely different than other social medias. I know that the traditional, maybe you got kids, maybe you're a little bit older and you're like, why on earth would I watch someone else play video games? And my answer to that is, why don't you go play football instead of watching the NFL?
Yep.
It's just an entertainment factor, helps you escape, or maybe some of your problems, maybe some of the life situations you got going on. Just entertainment. And that's what we're doing. So give it a shot. It's not just playing video games. It's us developing characters and storylines and all of that. So I think that stop by a stream. We let you know on our stories and on Twitter when we're going live. So just be looking for that. Ryan, I think that you should close out this golf podcast.
Guys, thanks again for listening into episode 75 of the You Bet You Radio podcast. We hope you enjoyed our three least favorite things about golf. Everyone's got their three least favorite, and we hope you can relate a little bit to that. Remember, guys, I say it every podcast, the merch is open. Wide open. The boys are buzzing. Brand new designs all on the website. So go check it out. With every boys are buzzing merch item that you order, you get a free beer fridge magnet. And what could go better on your beer fridge than the boys are buzzing magnet? So you can check that out at oubetcha.com. All of our other merchandise is also open on top of that. And before we go, we would just like to say thank you to Gina's Designs of the Heartland. Gina's Designs of the Heartland handcrafts, hand paints all of our wood pine signs on the website. We have 3 different color Nectar of the Gods signs that go great in any man cave, any garage, any place you're going to be watching the Nectar Cup series on Thursdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. So you can check them out at etsy.com/shop/GDOT Heartland or on our website, oubetcha.com. Miles, I am Ryan, the t-shirt guy.
And I am Miles, the You Betcha guy. May your ranch always be runny, your Busch lattes, your Busch apples forever be cold. Cheers, Ryan. Oh, God. Oh, my God, that's cold. Oh, my God, that's cold.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.